to Republic TV. I'm Shivangi Shukla. Welcome to today's segment, a quick morning where we delve into the latest news coming in from across the country, across the globe to set the tone for your day. From tracking phase 1 of Jharkhand elections to the NATO Secretary General's emphasis on importance of continuing support for Ukraine. Stay tuned as we here on Republic TV get to the latest on Quick Morning. We'll also bring you all the details from the world of business, entertainment and sports. So let's get started with a mega news day here on Republic TV. Prime Minister Modi on Tuesday continued his attack on the Congress in poll-bound Maharashtra, alleging that the party is looting people in Karnakata and some money is allegedly being used to fight polls. Addressing a rally in Pune, PM Modi spoke of the development work being done by the double-engine government in Maharashtra and Pune and said that the middle class has always seen a priority, has been a very big priority for the BJP. He said Congress should be kept away to save Maharashtra.
वादे पूरे करने की जगह कांग्रेस ने जनता से वसूली का अभियान चलाया हुआ है। कर्नाटका में आए दिन कोई न कोई घोटाला सामने आ रहा है, यानी कर्नाटका में कांग्रेस जनता को खुलेआम लूट रही है।
Supreme Court of India is set to announce the verdict today on petitions challenging the use of bulldozers, action by authorities against the properties of individuals accused of crimes as a punitive measure. The bench, consisting of Justice B.R. Gavai, K.V. Vishwanathan, will pronounce the judgment. A man in Greater Noida was arrested for cultivating organic grown plants from his indoor setup. According to the DCP, Greater Noida said that in a joint operation by narcotics cell, Ecotech 1, and the youth has now been arrested. Now, he was involved in the indoor cultivation of OG plants.
देखिए, ये नारकोटिक सेल और इकोटेक 1 और बीटा की जॉइंट ऑपरेशन में एक युवक है राहुल चौधरी, इसको गिरफ्तार किया गया है। ये एक ओजी प्लांट्स की फार्मिंग, इंडोर फार्मिंग कर रहा था और ओजी प्लांट से जैसे कि पता है वीड एक्सट्रैक्ट किया जाता है, तो ये वीड वो एक्सट्रैक्ट करता था। इस तरह की जो रेड करी गई यहाँ पे थाना बीटा में पैनोरमा सोसाइटी में, वहाँ पे इसके जो इंडोर सेटअप है वहाँ से हमें 80 प्लांट्स, 2 किलो गांजा और जो फार्मिंग के अलग अलग पेस्टिसाइड्स, इंसेक्टिसाइड्स हैं वो हम लोगों ने बरामद किए हैं।
Defense Research and Development Organization conducted a maiden flight test of a long-range and land attack cruise missile from the integrated test range Chandipur off the coast of Odisha on Tuesday from a mobile articulated launcher. During the test, all subsystems performed as per expectation and met the primary mission objectives. The missile performance was monitored by several range sensors like radar, electro-optical tracking system and telemetry deployed by ITR at different locations to ensure complete coverage of the flight path. Jharkhand is set for its 2024 assembly elections starting today, covering all 81 seats in 2 phases. Ruling Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, led by CM Hemant Soren, seeks to retain power, fielding 41 candidates, including Soren as well, his wife Kalpana and brother in other areas. The BJP has now been contesting 68 seats, led by former CM Babulal Marandi in Dhanwar and Champai Soren as well. The Congress, as part of the India Alliance, announced 21 of its 30 candidates, with President Rameshwar Oraon running as well. Now, the RJD, along with the other India allies, have fielded around 6 candidates in total. West Bengal will hold by-elections for 6 assembly seats today, with the ruling TMC facing challenges amid protest over the alleged rape and murder of a doctor at Raji Kaur Medical College. The protests have intensified calls for justice and reform, adding pressure on CM Mamata Banerjee's administration ahead of the polls. The 6 constituencies are witnessing a very, very strong competition. The BJP, the TMC, Left Front and Congress have all fielded candidates, with the Left and the Congress contesting separately for the first time since 2021. Senior BJP leader Suvendu Adhikari on Tuesday said that a protest would be staged at the India-Bangladesh border in West Bengal and if attacks on minority Hindus in the neighboring country continues unabated. Suvendu Adhikari, who's a leader of opposition in West Bengal Assembly, expressed concern over reported attacks in various parts of Bangladesh, stressing the urgency for ensuring minority safety. Adhikari, along with other BJP leaders, participated in a protest march organized by a religious body in Kolkata, addressing the gathering, saying that in Bangladesh, fundamentalists are asking people to boycott shops and businesses run by the Hindus. Adhikari asserted that citizens in West Bengal would support this cause in solidarity with the affected Hindu community in Bangladesh. Schools in
हिंदू को ऊपर अत्याचार हो रहा है, डॉक्टर यूनुस कर रहा है, ममता बनर्जी कर रहा है। वहाँ 600 मंदिर गिराया, चट्टग्राम में हजारी गोली में हिंदू घर में ढूंढ के आर्मी ने अत्याचार किया। या बंगाल में दुर्गा मूर्ति तोड़ा, काली मूर्ति तोड़ा। इस दुर्गा पूजा काली पूजा।
Schools and colleges were closed, markets were shut, and vehicles have remained off the road as the hill areas of Manipur witnessed a total shutdown on Tuesday. The Manipur police said that 10 suspected militants were killed in a fierce gunfight with security forces on Monday after insurgents in camouflage uniforms armed with sophisticated weapons fired indiscriminately at the police station and an adjacent CRPF camp. However, a senior government official put the toll around at 11, and the officials say that no untoward incident was reported from anywhere in the Kuki-dominated hill areas during the shutdown. In a no-holds-barred attack on Mallikarjun Kharge, alleged appeasement politics of Congress, UP CM Yogi Adityanath on Tuesday said that the Congress chief forgot his family sacrifice for votes. Raking up Kharge's childhood tragedy, Adityanath mentioned how Hyderabad Nizam's Rajakars have now burned down his village in 1948, killing his mother and sister. Addressing a rally in Maharashtra, Adityanath has responded to Kharge's criticism of his Batenge to Katenge slogan. He said for him, the nation comes first, while for the Congress chief, appeasement politics comes first.
खड़गे जी, मेरे ऊपर गुस्सा मत करिए, मैं तो आपकी उम्र का सम्मान करता हूं। आपको गुस्सा करना है तो निजाम पर करिए, हैदराबाद के निजाम को, जिस हैदराबाद के निजाम के रजाकारों ने आपके गांव को जलाया था।
And we also get to the top updates coming in now from the world of business, where we're getting you many stories from the Indian Finance Minister Narendra Modi about talking about fostering growth within the country at the India Economic Summit, to Union Shipping Minister Sarbanan Sonowal outlining an ambitious growth plan for India's shipping and maritime sector. Stay tuned as we delve into the key highlights shaping the business world today. At the India Economic Summit 2024, Union Finance Minister Narendra Modi addressed critical national and global issues, including India's economic progress, the role of opposition and shifting geopolitical dynamics. Speaking to Republic Media Network's editor-in-chief, Arnab Goswami, Sitharaman called out domestic pessimism, likening critics to modern-day Shalias who would undermine India's potential. She also enumerated on the country's strategic approach to a foreign direct investment, stressing the need for transparency, especially flagging concerning investments from China. Sitharaman also highlighted India's continued commitment to global relationships, remaining non-aligned and maintaining friendship across the world despite changing global power structures, particularly in post-Ukraine war scenario. Sitharaman also criticized the opposition's focus on trivial matters and urged opposition leaders to address more pressing national issues. The finance minister talked about fostering inclusive growth within the country as India set its sights on becoming a $50 trillion economy by 2047.
Attempting to pull me down, he's doing a disservice for the cause that he pretends to take up.
Why so?
In this case, for instance, talking about halwa, talking about how many scheduled castes are there,
Yes.
how many OBCs are there. If you're really intending to serve the cause of scheduled castes,
Yes.
it's not a halwa ceremony on which you'll question that.
That's true.
You'll do so much more to help the cause of really scheduled castes and OBCs rather than say, during the halwa, if you had 5 fellows, belonging to OBCs or SCs or STs. You've served the cause.
Taken to the occasion of the fourth distinguished edition of Republic Media Network's India Economic Summit, co-founder and marketing chief Aman Gupta, manufacturing ecosystem in India boomed, giving impetus to the electronics industry thanks to various governments' SOPs, such as the product incentive-linked PLI scheme, Startup India, Make in India. He highlighted that everyone wants to manufacture in India now, referring to how foreign companies have turned their focus to the country from China, regarded as a global hotspot for electronics manufacturing. Gupta also talked about the growing shift in India's employment landscape. There are more people stepping up into the startup world, recalling his own journey.
We started doing that, ma'am. It was tough. 2 years, we did not know how to make in India, but touch wood, we are very proud that a significant portion of our products are now made in India. And we are happy about it. Earlier, we were not even creating jobs in India, right? Today, we have more than 10,000 jobs indirectly, which we've created out of our manufacturing facilities in India.
The India Economic Summit, in conversation with Republic Media Network's senior executive editor Abhishek Kapoor, Jayan Mehta, has managing director of Gujarat's Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation, Amul, outlined the brand's ambitious growth plans. Mehta revealed that Amul is set to expand into the European market, beginning with Spain by the end of the month. Following its recent entry into the US market, Mehta believes that India is poised to produce a third of the world's milk, and how Amul looks at in cashing on the opportunity, making its footprint global. Mehta also discussed the iconic mascot of the brand, the Amul girl, and how she has resonated with nation's mood for years.
We've been exporting to more than 50 countries for the last several decades, but now we thought there's a chance and opportunity for us to get into fresh product business. And that's how we launched fresh milk in the United States a few months back. It's doing very well and it's got into mainstream with a unique product, which is like our Amul Gold full cream milk with 6% milk fat, which nobody in US ever imagined that you can have a milk like that. It's doing very well. And the same thing, we realized that Europe is a market where there is a large number of Indian diaspora, and we need to find a way to enter that market.
Taken to the India Economic Summit, Ashish Chauhan, MD and CEO of the National Stock Exchange, significant strides in India's financial inclusion with an optimism about investor opportunities present in the nation by saying that only about 30 out of 19,300 PIN codes in the country remain without an NSE-registered investor. Chauhan has positively attributed this growth to the government's initiatives, the digitization of KYC, and the overall prosperity of India. Chauhan also put forth the surge in the number of unique investors in India, which has risen to 10.5 crore, with a total of 20 crore accounts on the NSE. That represents 20% of Indian households, a significant 2.5% jump from pre-pandemic levels. At the India Economic Summit, Union Shipping Minister Sarbananda Sonowal outlined an ambitious growth plan for India's shipping and maritime sectors. Sonowal also unveiled the government's efforts to develop the world's largest port and propel India into the top rank of global maritime nation. He shared plans to increase India's share of global container traffic, boost local container production, and talked about an investment of 80 lakh crores in the shipbuilding industry by 2047. Sonowal highlighted the strides made by India through collaboration with countries like Iran and Russia, and unveiled plans of developing the Brahmaputra River route in the northeast. Getting you some top updates coming in from the world of around the world, international stories. Today we delve into the significant developments from across the world, from Guterres' emphasis on global support to Africa, and Trudeau comments on US trade relations. All this and much more as we talk about the stories making the headlines from all across the globe. On Tuesday at COP29 meeting, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres emphasized that there's an urgent need to address severe climate impacts facing vulnerable countries, stressing the injustice of the situation. He points out that despite minimal emissions, the climate crisis is hitting Africa and its people hard, devastating economies and societies. Guterres called on developed nations to honor their commitment to double financing for adaptation to at least $40 billion annually by 2025. He also urged meaningful contributions to the new loss and damage fund, ensuring it becomes a source of innovative financial support to turn ambitious and ambition into real-world impact. He stressed the need for innovative solutions that can attract new capital into green industries.
We must address the intolerable injustice your countries face to help protect your economies and your people from devastating climate impacts. Despite minimal emissions, the climate crisis is hitting your continent hard, pummeling your people and pounding your economies. We urgently need developed countries to honor their commitment to double finance for adaptation to at least $40 billion a year by 2025. And we need meaningful contributions to the new Loss and Damage Fund and to ensure it is a destination for innovative finance.
NATO Secretary General has now emphasized the importance of continuing support for Ukraine as it faces what could be its toughest winter since 2022. He urged a long-term commitment to not only sustain Ukraine's defense, but also to increase pressure on Putin and his allies by providing the necessary support to shift the conflict's trajectory. Now, the NATO General Secretary highlighted the significant progress made in strengthening defense industrial capacity and replenishing the stockpiles, but it stressed the need for greater transatlantic defense cooperation and increased defense investment to accelerate these efforts. He also pointed out that higher defense spending reduces the risk of future conflicts.
Today, of course, we will discuss the importance of keeping up the support as Ukrainians prepare to face what could be their harshest winter since 2022. We must recommit to staying the course for the long haul, and we must do more than just keep Ukraine in the fight. We need to raise the cost for Putin and his enabling authoritarian friends by providing Ukraine with the support it needs to change the trajectory of the conflict.
Trudeau highlighted that, like in the U.S., election voters everywhere, including in New Brunswick, are focused on addressing the challenges the families face, particularly rising living costs and fostering optimism and ambition for their communities. He noted that many global issues such as conflicts, shifting geopolitics, economic challenges, and the increasing cost of climate change directly impacts the cost of living for people. Trudeau emphasized that his focus is on addressing these challenges both domestically and globally. Though international platforms like APEC and G20, he also acknowledged that both the current U.S. administration and the incoming Trump administration are committed to solving the problems families face, with Canada playing a key role in strengthening North America and supporting American efforts.
Well, one of the things we saw in the American election, but that we're seeing in elections all around, including right here in New Brunswick, is that people are focused on the challenges that their families are facing, on fixing the cost of living issues, on creating optimism, ambitious for their communities, for their regions.
The case filed by Armenia and Azerbaijan at the UN highest court regarding the Karabakh region will proceed after the court's judges ruled on Tuesday that they have jurisdiction. The court ruled that Armenia's accusation of very racially motivated killing, torture and inhuman treatment of ethnic Armenians falls under the scope of Article 2, Paragraph 1 as well as Articles 4A and 4B of the International Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination. These cases are tied to the long-standing tensions that escalated into our 2020 war over the Karabakh region, which resulted in over 6,600 deaths. Although the region is very internationally recognized as part of Azerbaijan, it has been controlled by ethnic Armenian forces supported by Armenia since the end of a separatist conflict in 1994. Azerbaijan regained control of the area in the rapid military operation last year.
Accordingly, the court concluded that Armenia's claims of alleged racially motivated murder, torture, and inhuman treatment of ethnic Armenians fall within the scope of Article 2, Paragraph 1, Article 4A, and Article 4B of CERD.
Haiti's main airport remained closed on Tuesday, a day after gangs shot at a landing airplane, injuring a flight attendant as violence erupted during the swearing-in of the country's new prime minister amid a politically unstable transition. On Tuesday, heavily armed police and armored vehicles were seen checking trucks used for public transportation near the airport. The sound of gunfire echoed through the streets, serving as a stark reminder that despite political efforts by Haiti's elites and international pressure to restore peace, the country's powerful gangs still maintain control of much of the nation. The violence follows a decision by Haiti's Transitional Council, tasked with restoring the democratic order after years without election, to remove interim Prime Minister Gary Colenne, who had clashed frequently with the council during his 6-month tenure. The Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger has stated that the election results were clear regardless of whether the people liked them. He pointed out that Stacey Abrams lost in 2018 by 55,000 votes. There were numerous lawsuits and similar challenges occurred in 2020. However, he does not anticipate any major disputes this time. Raffensperger has emphasized that the election equipment has been thoroughly tested and used in multiple elections, producing consistent results. He expressed confidence that the public will accept the results, which he believes would be beneficial for the health of the public.
I think the results were very conclusive. Whether people like him or not, those results were very conclusive. But after 2018, Stacey Abrams lost by 55,000 votes. We had about 10 lawsuits. Roll it forward, we had some in 2020, obviously, on the other side. But I don't anticipate any. I think what we've shown, the equipment has been through elections, same equipment, and these are the results. And so we fully expect that people will accept the results. I think that would be a healthy thing for our republic.
Okay, viewers, let's go ahead to the world of sports with our segment dedicated to all the action-packed highlights and exciting matchups. Today we bring the latest updates from the IPL 2024, where Delhi Capitals appoints his new bowling coach. Stay tuned as we unveil the stories from the Hockey Women's Asian Champions Trophy and T20 internationals as well. Keep listening to all the buzz here in our sports segment. Former India pacer Munaf Patel was roped in by the Delhi Capitals as their bowling coach for the upcoming edition of the Indian Premier League. The 41-year-old Munaf will work alongside head coach Hemang Badani and DC Director of Cricket Venugopal Rao. England fast bowler Reece Topley has been fined 15% of his match fee by the ICC for smashing the chair in anger and after suffering yet another injury setback during the first T20I against West Indies. Topley jarred his right knee and his delivery stride during series opener at Kensington Oval in Barbados. India beat South Korea 3-2 to register their second consecutive win, the Women's Asian Champion Trophy Hockey. India raced to a 2-0 lead in the first half through goals from Sangeeta Kumari and Deepika before Korea mounted a strong comeback in the third quarter and drew parity with goals. Afghanistan all-rounder Mohammad Nabi has announced that he will retire from one-day internationals after next year's Champions Trophy in Pakistan. After Afghanistan's 2-1 series with over Bangladesh, and 39-year-old said he had been pondering about quitting the format since last year's ODI World Cup. Pakistan's white ball captain Mohammad Rizwan is confident of winning the upcoming T20 International Series in Australia and is also eyeing a whitewash from the home team. The Pakistan team led by Rizwan surprised everyone by winning a one-day series in Australia for the first time since 2002, and after Australian team management decided to rest 5 of the senior players for the decider in Perth. Premier India pacer Mohammad Shami will make his much-anticipated return to competitive cricket after a hiatus of nearly a year through Bengal's Ranji Trophy match against Madhya Pradesh in Indore, announced Cricket Association of Bengal. Shami, who has been out of action since 2023 World Cup final on November 19 due to an ankle injury and the subsequent surgery, will aim to prove his fitness in a real match situation after undergoing intense rehab at the BCCI Centre of Excellence in Bengaluru. India hit the nets at the Western Australian Cricket Association Stadium in Perth on Tuesday to begin preparation for the upcoming Border Gavaskar Trophy, which is set to begin on November 22nd. The first test will be played at the Optus Stadium in Perth. Viewers, we'll get you the latest coming into the world of glamour and entertainment. We see that we give you highlights from Natural History Museum in London, which has kicked off its festive season. This and much more as we delve deep into the world of entertainment, movies and glamour. Landman digs below the surface on the working of the oil fields in Texas created by Yellowstone's Taylor Sheridan. And Billy Bob Thornton plays a central character. Tommy Billy Bob Thornton described his character as a relatable person just trying to do his job and get by. He explained that his character, Tommy, is suddenly faced with multiple challenges. His daughter wants to move back in his ex-wife is trying to control everything, and he's living with his lawyer and geologist while trying to make money. Despite these pressures, Tommy is a man with a sense of humor, love for his ex-wife and kids, and concern for his child, particularly when it comes to a dangerous business decision. Thornton emphasized that a court character is one with a well-rounded personality, showing both strengths and flaws.
Of course. He's just a guy who's trying to do his job and get by, and all of a sudden he's hit from every direction with his daughter wants to come back and live with him. His ex-wife, wants to control everything. He's living in the house with his lawyer and his, geologist. I'm trying to make money for this guy, so Tommy's just a guy who, he's got a sense of humor. He has love in him, loves his ex-wife still.
The Natural History Museum in London has kicked off its festive season by revealing its Christmas jumper design. To promote the new design, the museum's life-sized animatronic dinosaur, which is a T-Rex, is sporting an oversized version of the jumper. Now, this year's design features vibrant colors, showcasing the fern and the museum's latest exhibit. Now, it also highlights the iconic South Kensington building decorated with Christmas trees and Santa hats. Netflix's Cobra Kai returns for final season, but fans can wait to mourn as the season is broken up into 3 mini-seasons, with part 1 on July 18 and part 2 on November 15th. Actor Ralph Macchio has now gone ahead and reflected on the lesson of staying open-minded, especially when it comes to his views on Karate Kid Part 3. Now, he admitted that at one point he felt the film did not measure up to the first 2 movies. However, he acknowledged that Cobra Kai has drawn significant storylines from Karate Kid Part 3, particularly from performances of Thomas Ian Griffith as Mike Barnes and Robin Lively. And this, he noted, created new conflicts and interactions for the characters. Macchio has expressed that he had been close-minded about the film in the past, but has since learned the importance of being open to new perspectives.
It's taught me be careful what you think you know is one of the things I talk about, because I would always say that I felt that the Karate Kid Part 3 would, the movie kind of paled in my view to the first 2.
Rapper Daniel Hernandez was sentenced to 45 days in prison on Tuesday by a federal judge. The sentence came after the rapper repeatedly violated the terms of his probation despite leniency granted earlier for his cooperation in prosecuting a violent gang. Judge noted that Hernandez's repeated disregard for the rules of the judicial system showed a lack of respect. The additional time in prison comes 5 years after Hernandez was sentenced to 2 years in prison. Viewers, that's all we have on Quick Morning, but do not go anywhere, because we'll be right back with much more, all the breaking news updates right here on Republic TV.